All right, so I'm gonna be recording this too, so, we are able to, check this out later on. This. All right, so today I'll be going over the process of creating ads through Facebook and Instagram that are gonna be run through Command. The main benefit of running these ads through Command is that they've simplified the process of putting it together, of putting your ad together, of setting up the timing, the budget, the target reach, all of these different things. And what's really nice is the leads that those ads generate or receive, they actually go back into Command. So there's no risk of losing them or not knowing where they're going. It makes it really simple to come back right in Command and see where those are going to. So the first thing you guys are going to want to do is obviously you're going to log into if you haven't set up your Command account with Facebook, then the first thing is you're going to want to log into your Facebook account.
Quick question, the Facebook account is personal, but I created a page, a business page. How do I just sign into my regular personal account? Yeah?
Yeah, so you're gonna be signing into your personal account because as you mentioned, the business account, your business profile is connected to your personal account. There's no other way to create a separate page. It's linked to your personal account. So that's the first two steps there. Here I have an example. This is on my personal Facebook page. I do have a business page created. I won't go into detail as to creating a business page on Facebook. It's not too difficult if you guys haven't done that already. It's fairly simple. Basically, you would go through, if you're logged into Facebook, you can click these little dots here in the corner, and you can go down to this page button here. And what that does is it takes you straight to the page creations, process. And it asks for your business page name, a category, so you can select real estate agent. You can set up a description for your business page there. All of that is going to be here. And then from there, you can go into, putting in your profile picture, loading up your banner, putting in all of your business details, and so on. The business page allows you to do that. So this is a requirement in order to connect this over to Command and get the ad running, is to have a business page. How do you tell if you already have a business page created? Easiest way is if you, by going to the same area here where the dots are, instead of looking here under the create section, if you go under pages, then you'll see your different business pages here. So if you don't have anything at all, then you don't have a business page created yet. So for example, here's mine. I've just done a few basic things to it, just put up a picture, set up my name, and put in a background, and I've kind of gone on through there. So now that I have I'm logged into my Facebook account, and I'm logged into, and I have a business page, ready to go. Next thing I'm going to do is go over into Command. So now in Command, we're going to look for we're going to click over where our name is in the top right corner, because it's through there that we go into the settings. That's the second option. All right. Takes a second. All right, so then now we're into the Command settings on the screen. And what we're looking for is, and actually I'll do this. Here it is. So, the section that we're looking for is this one called Facebook Ads Manager.
Where's
and-
that under? The connect settings?
Yeah, under command settings. On the top right corner, I clicked on my name and I went to the settings option. And that brought me here. And so what I'm looking for, again, is this Facebook Ads Manager section. And as you can tell here, I'm already logged into my account. And the way I can tell is it's got my name down here on the bottom. And it'll also say connected, one account here over on the right. So that's how I know, or how I can tell that I've got this connected already at this point. If you don't, you'll have a connect button here on the corner. And it's just a matter of, and let me see here, I'll actually disconnect this here for a moment, just to show you guys this process. So it'll tell you want to connect a new account. You'll click the button. And then because you're already logged into Facebook, it should just go straight into this screen here. It's going to ask you that Keller Williams is requesting to access your profile and posts. We do want to allow this, and you can continue. And then from there, once you hit continue, then it's going to ask you which of your business pages do you want to connect to command. So I know this is my my realtor page, and all I need to do is just click the checkbox on it, and it's set to go there.
If it only gives me the option for my personal account, it doesn't give me the option for my page.
So it should be your business page, because if you didn't have a business page created before, you wouldn't even see an option on this screen.
Well, I have a business page already created in Facebook, but on the options where you're at, it's only giving me the option for my personal account. That should be it, right?
Yeah, let's see. Go ahead and click on that. Do you happen to know, did you name your business page the same as your personal? Like, did you?
The difference is the way I spell my name.
Oh, because I know if for example, I used, Mike Serrano Realtor as my business page name, so I could tell right away that that's my business page. If I had named it the same thing as my personal page, then,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you might not be able to tell the difference in that case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which, by the way, you can always go back in your Facebook page settings and make changes to that at any time. But now this is my business page. I've got it connected here, and it's really it. If this is the first time that you're setting this up, you may see this screen here. Let me make this bigger. You may see this screen here where it's asking you to accept the lead ad terms. On this screen here, on the corner on the right side, you'll have to select your business page from this page, or from this link. And this is over on Facebook is where this shows up. So you'll just have to make sure that you check the menu here, that you select that you select your business page, and that you accept the lead ad terms. So again, this is only if this is the first time that you're ever connecting this to command, is you might see this option. Because I've already done this before on my account, just as I showed you guys, it didn't ask me this again. So first time set up, you'll probably see this screen, and you'll have to accept these terms. And by the way, at any point, if you guys are trying to go through this process, let me know if you have any questions on all this here. And then here's where we linked our business page. We looked at that. Okay, so then now that we have this connected here, we click done. Now we should see under the Facebook Ads Manager section here, my name is connected, and I have one connected account at this point. So now I'm ready to move forward at this point. So from here, now we're going to be dealing mostly with the campaigns option, or the campaigns tool over on the left side. So if I go under campaigns, it's the one with this little like speakerphone button. This actually goes. Oh. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, so then now we're under the campaigns section here in Command. One of the first things that you'll want to set up is your payments. So where the Facebook, where the ads are going to draw their payment from, in order to, in order to finalize your ad. The way you do that is there's this payments button up here on the top right next to create campaign. You can click there, and it'll ask you here or it'll show you on this screen what credit card that you have on file, if you have one in there yet. So you'll see it there. If you don't, you can add a payment method from this button right here, and it'll take you through the the whole setup here of putting in your card information for that.
Which button did you click? I'm sorry,
For
for the payment?
it's right here in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Under or next to
There's this payment?
Yeah. This screen will also show you some ad spend metrics. So basically, how much total spend you've done through Facebook and Instagram ads, as well as there's some option for Twitter as well. So it'll show you here your total spend, what your cost per clicks are, cost per leads, and all that. So this is a great screen for that. That you see it all across the board there. So this one, yes.
Sorry, what's, when you go to channels on ad spend metrics, when you scroll down it says Google Awards. What AdWords, what's that? Is that the Google ads?
Yeah, so that's the Google ads. That's something I won't cover today. But through this whole process, one of the channels available outside of Facebook and Instagram is an option to send an advertisement through Google as well. So that's what that one refers to there.
Got it, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so from here, now we can move on to the creating a campaign. By the way, you also have a tab up here. I'm still under the campaigns page, under the paid ads tab. This will actually be the page here where it'll show you every single ad that you've ever created and have run. And we'll actually show you here where all of the leads and how the performance of the ad is where you'll all see this. So, and I have a different example here from another user. So here's an example of what some of these ads look like. So these were some ads that this is Leanna's command account, and we can see here that she's ran just a few, and you can see here such as the status. These have already ran and completed. The duration of these ads. So she's done different durations here. And then you'll also see here your cost per click, so how many times the ads were clicked, and based off of the budget that was set, what that cost boils down to. These costs per impressions, impressions are how many times the ads actually show up on somebody's screen, on somebody's whether it's through their Facebook timeline, or on Instagram as well, the Instagram feed, how many times that actually pops up. but it just pops up, whether, you know, and not counting if they've actually clicked on it to view it. So you see these amounts here as well. And then, of course, how much you actually spent on that ad, your ad spend.
Can you do this for free?
It's, well, it's not free. You do have to pay, set up a budget for the ad to run. That's where the payment option comes in. And then, of course, you know, your actual leads. So this screen here, you can actually click on the little leads button, and it'll show you here, you know, the leads that came through, their names, the email addresses, phone numbers, and what channel they came through from. So, you know, if you only ran this ad through Facebook, well, then this will only say Facebook. And if you ran it through Facebook and Instagram, then it'll show you which ones were funneled through from Facebook, which ones came through Instagram, and so on. You know, you'll see those here. Not only do you see them here on this screen, but you'll actually get emailed every single time that you receive a new lead. So, you know, a couple of different ways that you know, will get notified of that. So, not only emails, but also if you guys use the command app on your phones, you also receive notifications through there as well of, you know, the same thing. So multiple different ways that you'll see, oh, a lead came through, you know, I should hop on that right away, contact them, and, you know, and try to work that lead or convert that lead. So this screen will also show you here a preview. This works here. A preview of that ad. So how this ad actually looked like on the other person's end. So you can see here, this was a pretty simple ad that Leanna created, and again, coming from her business profile on Facebook, and you know, a sample of here of, you know, what she actually used for the ad. So very simple. She just used a couple of pictures for a listing here. And, you know, it didn't take very much, but it actually gathered a few number of leads there. So let's go through the process of setting up an ad for a listing, since that seems to be the you know, one of the easier ads to set up, and one of the more popular ones that a lot of people use. So, best thing to start off with an ad for a listing is by starting off with creating a landing page. So the way we create a landing page, for those that don't know how to create a landing page here in Command, that's under the consumer section here on the bottom left of the options. And then you have a tab up here at the top called landing pages. This will show you all the landing pages that you've created before. And then here we would go through the process of creating a new page. So, you know, I click here, create a new page on the top right corner. And then below that, I would go down to the option, I want to create a landing page. I'd select that, and then I'd create a page. So you're going to start off with a blank screen here.
Mike, can you go one step back? How did you get to add a new landing page?
It's just the button here on the corner, create a new page.
I'm in the landing page tab.
Yeah.
And then you go to the right. I don't have the same green button on the right.
Yeah, that's usually where it's at.
You go to consumer?
Okay, I was there.
Oh, I think it's because you're zoomed in on your screen. If you zoom out, there you go.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I think you're zoomed in too much. You won't see the button. So here we are. We create a landing page, and you can do a couple things with this page. The main thing is we want to use this listing widget that's here. So we click and drag this over, and right away that's basically most of this page. And you don't necessarily have to create a landing page just for the purposes of creating an ad. You can create a landing page and then be able to just post it normally on Facebook or send it out through an email or something like that. But the landing pages make it they're pretty versatile and allow you to do different things with them. One of those is we're going to use it for this ad. So besides this, besides the listing widget, you could also include your agent branding. This is also really important here. I'm gonna just click and drag this over. This might be a little hard to see, but there's a green line going across the top of the screen. That tells me if I let go of the widget, where it's gonna place where it's actually gonna place the object here. I actually used the wrong one, so I'm gonna click on it here, and I can delete it there. I meant to use the branded header. The branded header works a little bit better for being at the top of the page. So what that does is if your profile information in Command is squared away, this will automatically pull over your photo, your name, phone number, and email address, which is great. Then the middle section is going to be all where the listing will go. And then at the bottom, what I like to include is a lead form. So again, I just click and drag these over. The bottom one is always a little hard to tell where it's going to place it because the line that goes across it goes down pretty far. But I know if I place this down near the bottom of the screen and kind of just let it go, then I know I'll have the lead form there. And this is just.
Are those already created, or we have to create that lead form?
These are already created. That's the beauty of this landing page creator, is that all these widgets, and they're called widgets,
Yeah.
they're all there ready to go. It's only a matter of setting a few of them up
Okay.
right after this.
Like the agent header, we'll have to put our pictures and all that.
If it's not already set up,
Okay.
then it'll give you the opportunity to set it up
Okay.
afterwards.
Which widget do you use for that bottom one?
This one was the lead form.
Lead form.
Mhm. And the lead form is great just because it's, it's another opportunity for someone to, that maybe gets to see this landing page that wants to get a hold of you, if it's not through your phone number or email address that's already at the top, to go through this form, fill it out, and then you'll receive the message as, through your email. You'll say, you'll receive a new submission through this lead form. So just, I like to use it just as another opportunity to receive impossible leads from that. And last thing I'll do, and there's a number of other widgets here available as well, but the only other one that I'll work with is maybe I'll do the agent branding. And then once again, I'll just click and drag that down towards the bottom, and it's just, again, more of the same agent information, but it takes a little more space, and usually that's better to use it at the bottom than at the top. So now that I have, a couple of items here on my landing page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure the widgets. That's this bottom button here on the bottom right. It may ask you here, hey, as part of your agent branding, here's some missing information. So if it's missing like your license number for some reason, or the office address or the website, anything like that, it'll mark it in red, and you just have to complete that before you move on. Which I believe here it's got everything saved. This might be a little hard to see here, but I do need to click on this left arrow to kind of bring me back out. And I can see here all of my, I only use 4 widgets. As far as my 4 widgets, which ones are ready to go. these are gonna be marked in green, and which ones are not. So I know my listing, I still need to set up. So I'm just gonna click on that. And then here it's gonna allow me to browse for the listings. So then let's say that, you can do a property search here for the address of the listing. Sometimes if it doesn't come up here on the screen, you can change here on the side to search for a MLS number instead. If you have an MLS number, maybe sometimes it helps pull that up instead of the address. And so, we'll go through that there. But let's say that this is the listing here, for example. I just selected one. And then the main photo that shows on that's going to show on this, it lets you can pick from the list of photos here on the side that pull through from the MLS. Not sure, that looks like a picture of the kitchen or something. But I'm just going to select the first one, hit save and apply, and then now the whole widget here will get updated with that MLS information. So all of the pictures and information from that listing will come through automatically here. And this is really not a good example of this. It looks like this is an apartment or something. For that price, it's kind of steep.
Condo.
Wherever this is at, yeah, probably a condo or something.
Mike?
So then now.
Mike, I have a question.
Yes.
Are we allowed to use whatever listing we want, or if it's not our listing, we're not allowed, or we have to talk to the agent? How does that work? Can I just randomly pick any listing I want?
So definitely out of, if it's any listing that's here within our office, listed by another agent that's also within the office, you're totally free to, create a landing page for that. If it's anything outside of that, even though you're still marketing somebody else's listing, and in a way you're assisting them in possibly selling this thing, you would see it as there shouldn't be any issue with promoting somebody else's listing like that. So it's kind of a gray area there, and I'm not totally sure if it's if it's totally okay to do, or should you contact them and say, hey, I'm going to
You have to
use
ask
this thing
permission.
and ask permission, or just acknowledge that, hey, I'm going to be running some marketing using your listing, is that okay? But just to keep that in mind for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much. Also, when we started creating a new landing page, what was the first step that you did that you brought the body in? Because I was doing everything you said, but my body went away. I don't know, where did it go? So how did you bring the body in? The first step,
Oh, the first one? So that was the listing widget here.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, the listing widget, which
Sorry, yeah, got it.
which basically takes up most of the space here on the screen.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So one last thing here is I would change the name of the landing page based off of the listing here. So, just because if you create a lot of these in the future, it helps tell apart which is which on the list. So, do something like that. And then last thing I'll do is I'll publish the page. And it's going to ask here if you want to update it. Yes, you want to update this. And then now if I go back to the landing pages tab, I'll see a brand new landing page with a link that I can click on. And then there's the landing page. And then now this is basically active on the internet. You can copy that link. You can send it out. Kind of do multiple different things with this, apart from what we're going to use it for in the ad.
So
Yeah.
we don't really have to add, oh, sorry. It's okay, you can go ahead first.
Thank you. So is this right now posted on your Facebook page automatically, or you have to actually go and do something there?
So this is not automatic. This is now ready for me to, take and then post separately or send it out separately in any way that I
Oh,
like.
yeah, so I was gonna ask that, like, it's with that landing page, landing link?
The landing page?
Page, okay, landing page, you can just post it like on your regular page without paying an ad or a campaign?
Yeah, so, if you can totally do that, of course. The benefit of, using this with the ad is that that's gonna reach a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
That's the main goal of this. But if you were just gonna create a regular post to advertise, this is your new listing, just to the people that follow your, your Instagram, your Facebook page, wherever you're posting this, then,
Copy the.
yeah, you can use the link for that.
Oh.
And that will take anyone that clicks on the link straight back to this page here.
So here's a question for you. Why do we have a payment method if this is not gonna post it on Facebook or Instagram by itself? Why do they need a payment method? Because it seems like you just created a very good looking ad where you're supposed to post it on your Insta, post it on your Facebook, and it's not gonna be posted as an active ad.
So I'm getting to that part here next.
Right.
So now that I've created the landing page, I can now go into the process of setting up the ad. So I do have to kind of work backwards here a little bit if the whole purpose of this is to create a listing ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you clicked on publish after you changed the name of the page?
Yeah, so, whether you do that step at the very beginning, you name the ad, or you do it at the end, yeah, I just click on publish page too.
Okay.
Get it
It
done.
came up, said, are you sure you want to update that? And after the page is changed will affect the published version. What does that mean?
Yeah, you can just hit yes to
Yes, okay.
update that. What that's saying is, if you go back into the page later and re-edit it, that is just saying, oh, any changes that you make, it's gonna update over.
Okay, 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 thank you.
Yeah, the purpose of connecting a payment option to the ads is for it to actually do its job and then send it out. I know we're kind of working a little backwards here, but we do have to create the landing page first before moving into the ad, and you guys will see why. So now that I've gone through that and I've created my landing page, let me actually use my account for this instead here. Now I get to create the ad. So back over to the campaigns option here on the left, back over to create campaign. It's gonna ask me here, what kind of campaign do I wanna create? Not only do you have the option to create ads, but you also have the option to, a number of other things here. Just create a post, create postcards, that's what direct mail is, email and so on. For today, we're working on social ads. It's gonna ask here, what's the campaign name? I'm gonna call this, actually, sorry, just before I move on.
I have a quick question. I'll probably take you a few steps behind, but when I'm trying to save that the landing page, I go back to the menu of the landing page, but it's saved it as draft. What did I do wrong?
So if it saved it as draft, you probably clicked on Save Landing Page instead of Publish Page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, clicking on Save Landing Page will just,
Leave it as draft for you to go back and
yeah, it'll
edit.
leave it as a draft.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I'm just redoing this real quick. I realized I created that landing page.
But just to make clear, I'm sorry, if you put publish page, it will not publish it to your social media. You would have to go back and do what you're doing right now.
Yeah, so that's just creating the page and getting it ready. Outside of that, I would still, it's ready for me to share it, from there.
Got it.
Like, this is what happened when I clicked on publish page, it just,
It's just
doing that for a while.
in there. I might have to come
Okay.
back to that, yeah, and see what's going on there. Okay, so from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on, back to the campaigns page here. I'm gonna click on create campaign. And then I'm gonna do social ad. And then here is the, I get to name the campaign now. So I'll call this a listing ad. Of course, you can name that based off of the property address, whatever makes it easy for you to tell. The purpose of this goal, or the purpose of this ad is to advertise the listing. And the last thing down here is going to ask, where will your campaign run? Facebook and Instagram, or just Facebook. You can pick and choose here. And then you also have an option for Twitter. Keep in mind that however many of these options you choose, it'll determine how it's going to split up the budget. So the actual payment that we submit and create for this ad, it'll determine, okay, now the ad has to split the payment 3 ways, and it determines how it's able to have the ad going out there.
So you can do Facebook, Instagram, and what else? And TikToks?
Twitter, not TikTok. For Twitter, of course, I would need to create a Twitter account and set up that, if I were to go through that. So I'm just gonna, for this example, I'm just gonna do Facebook and Instagram. I'm gonna create the campaign. And then once again, once you go through that, it's gonna ask you here for the property address. So it's gonna ask you here to connect the listing. This search page might look a little bit different than the one we just saw on the landing page. And that's because by default, this will show you, this will just want to show you only your listings. In this case, I don't have any, so I'm gonna click on here where it says show only my listings to show all listings. That way, all of this comes through here on the screen. And
I have a quick question. These listings, they are attached to the MLS, so that's where they're coming out from, right?
yes, these are connected through the MLS, and actually, multiple MLSs, as you can see here. There's, listings coming in from Texas and, Michigan and so on. So it's basically, it's wide open out there. But of course, search for the listing that you're looking for. So let's say that, let's say that was the listing that I was looking for here. And I just selected it. So what that does is it connects it here on this part of the screen. And in case you connect the wrong listing, you can always click here to change listing button. And I might have to go through the option here to search for it again. But that way you can, change that if you have to. So at this point, what I've done is started the campaign, connected the listing that I wanted to base this campaign off of. And automatically what this will do is it'll bring in the first picture of that listing and show you over here on the right. And as well as it'll put in the description from the MLS, it'll bring it right into this field here. And as you can see, it's it's putting together over here on the right side of the screen. Can you find listings on SRER as well? Yes, you can. So you can search through basically all of the different MLSs that are connected out there. So here's the description.
Because all you have to do is set up the link, right? To be able to, from, let's say, the MLS from Galvar or the one from down below or something like that. You just get the link and you add it to your MLS links, right?
Not even that. This is automatically connected for everybody in this room that, you know, has a command account. You know,
Like,
yeah.
for example, I can only use Galvar if I wanted to use the one below. I forget what it's called.
SRIR.
Yeah, I would have to belong to that particular organization. So what I'm saying is, let's say I want to look.
Well, definitely if you know, were listing something, that you're actually listing something in that area.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be there. But what I'm saying is, you take that link and you add it to your, how many organizations you belong to, correct?
Yeah, well, you don't even have to do that. Yeah, you don't even have to do that. Whether you're a member or not, the listings are still gonna show up in the
Okay.
listing search. Yeah, so it's totally outside of that, outside of that area. Okay, so we have here the ad that that we've started putting together here. Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm assuming this campaign you're creating is based on the landing page you previously created.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming right now you're just basing it off whatever listing you chose. It has to be the same listing you chose on the landing page, right?
Yes, it should be, because once
Right now, you just chose that one as an example.
as an example, and just because I could not remember the listing that I had chosen, which
Oh,
is
I just wanted to make sure that's what that.
which is not a good example of my memory here. Let me actually do this. Let me actually do this right here. Search the listing. Okay, it was this one here, I believe. Okay, connected the listing, but then it didn't update on the screen. Interesting. Oh. It kind of did now. And
The address was set 672 Herlong Avenue, 7, Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I ended up changing it to a different one on my landing page. Getting this to update here. There we go. And then I'll show you guys what I did there. So, all right, getting back to this. This will start putting it together here for you. One thing that you want to keep in mind when it comes to the main copy is you don't want to be too descriptive of what you put on there, the information. You don't want to give too much away in a sense of giving everybody, whoever sees this ad, all the information up front, and now they don't have a reason to click on the ad, right? So, and on top of that, you do have a character limit, so you can't put so much in here anyway to begin with. You have 250 characters that you have to remain within. So you can do something as simple as, the example that Leanna had in her ad, which was, just something as far as, brand new listing in, in West Palmdale, anything like that you can use. And you do have the option for those out there that like using emojis with this stuff. And a lot of the time, these do work. They are attention grabbing, which is, the, main goal of these ads is, you have the option to use these as well here, depending on, how you want to. And, I guess just don't use too many, or just be mindful of how many you put in with this. So that's the main copy here. The headline is this section down here at the bottom. So if we did something like, I know this isn't West Palmdale, but West Palmdale Pool Home, for example. And as you can see here, if I put that in, it updates it down here at the bottom. And just like before, you do have a character limit. This one is actually much shorter, only 25 characters, so keep in mind with that. The description is usually what shows up at the bottom of the ad. You can use this as an example of, a great place to put in your contact information. Want to see this person. Contact me today. And then there you can put in your number, your email address, anything that you like so far. Include in there, you can use that for that. All right, so we'll move on here, I'm gonna click save. So then that's gonna take care of the content portion of the ad. The next section is connecting our Facebook and Instagram settings here. So this is, we followed along and connected the account to this to command. Now I see here my account is Mike Toronto, and then next to that I get to select the page. If you've gone through the steps already, all you would do is then tell it here's the page, and then now if I go over to the to the preview here, now I'll see this is now going to show that it's connected to my business page here. So that's how I can tell this is now connected.
So to connect it to your Facebook account, what do you actually need to do? Just put the link in there, or set up the command to Instagram and Facebook, for example.
Yeah, I covered that right at the very beginning.
So you would have to have that so it's already connected and all you have to do is click.
Yeah, so yeah, you would have it connected already in the command settings, so that when you get to this point, it's just already here. You just click on this option and select it. So now I have this connected to my business page. Next thing is the destination information. So what this is asking for is, how do I want the leads to be captured? Do I want it to use the Facebook lead generation form, which is recommended, or do I want to leave this to my site or landing page to do that job? I would always use the Facebook lead generation form. Reason is because once this ad is actually published, it's out there on Facebook and Instagram, when someone clicks on the ad, it's going to ask them right up front, and I don't have it. I'm sorry, I don't have an example of this because I personally haven't seen it come up on my screen before. But it will ask, do you want to submit your information to Facebook? This is asking the person that's clicking on this ad or viewing it. They do have to say yes. Yes, I do want to submit my information, because then clicking on that will then take them over to the landing page in this case, because we'll connect that in a moment. But that's the crucial point there, where it sends their information back over to you, back over to us here in command. We want to use the Facebook lead generation form, because that's going to be the thing that's going to be up front and asking them, in order to continue, you have to provide your information to us. And that's what makes its way over to to our account here.
And it goes into the lead generation, what do you call that?
The form.
The form?
So it'll skip, it's gonna be actually before that. If I chose this option, site or landing page, then it'll let anybody clicking on the ad just go straight through and see the landing page or see whatever link I'm providing here. And then it's up to that page, to grab that information. So in the case of our landing page, it's down near the bottom, they would have to go through all this. At that point, they're already seeing the information. They're already seeing the landing page and the information about this listing.
So you may
They're
not,
not gonna, highly unlikely that they're gonna go through that form and say, oh, I already saw the information, but contact me again anyway. Here's that. That's why the lead generation form is the best. However, we still include the lead form in the landing page, just, again, as just another option, another thing here. But definitely this up front is gonna be able to capture their information. Or it's gonna be doing that. So for this, again, lead generation form is recommended, we'll do that. For the button label, that's referring to this here, here on the ad. You only have 3 options: learn more, sign up, and apply now. The one learn more is going to be the best one that fits in this case. And then now we get, and now below that is where we get to pick the landing page. So you have 2 options here. You can either, use your own custom link, and the nice thing about this is, you don't have to necessarily use a landing page. A landing page is not going to work in every scenario when setting up these ads. If you use something else out there, another service that creates, a different landing page for you, or something else that gives you more information specific to your ad, maybe it's a home valuation page that you have paid for, you have access to from somewhere else. You can totally use that. It's just going to ask you here to grab the link to wherever that page is and then put it here. Or in this case, because I have a landing page, I can choose my landing page from the button here. And it's going to be this one here, the one we just created. And you can see as soon as I click that, it went ahead and threw it in here automatically. So there's the link to the landing page that I just created a few minutes ago. So that now, anyone that sees this ad, clicks through, submits their information, will see that landing page as soon as they get that. And in return, we'll receive their information. All right, so we have all of this here set up. The next section below that is the audience. So we have here 3 different options when it comes to this. Auto audience is the first one. What this means is that Facebook will automatically choose the best audience for your ad. It is the recommended option. What it does is, through their algorithms, through their Facebook magic, whatever they do, this ad will go out and it'll automatically, however it does it, determine who it goes to, and will be the source of leads there for that auto audience. And it's very simple to have this set up, because what it does is it actually bases it off of the location of this listing. So in this case, this one was in Yuma, Arizona. So it's saying based off of that location there, and you have a radius in miles that you can adjust. And then over here on the right, it gives you a potential reach. So here it's telling me that potential reach of just by leaving this set up, it's on its own without changing anything. It's about 123,000 people, which is, I'd say it's a pretty good amount here. Of course, if you adjust this to be any higher, this goes up to 50 miles, I believe. Yeah, 50 miles is the max. Then you'll see the number adjust here as that goes up. And again, so this is the auto audience option. You also have the option to do a custom audience. This is if you want to do something more defined. So again, it's going to base it off of the starting city and the radius in miles. But you also have detailed targeting. And this is where you start adding interest to this list here. Adding more interest will expand your audience to include more people. And what I can do is I can click on add interests. And then it'll pop up this huge list of different interests. What are these interests? These are different categories of interests that are out there on Facebook. So people that follow, show interest in accounting, acting, advertising, and so on. This is a pretty huge list here, and you can see things like, people looking for apartment guides, apartment lists, people that are interested in architecture, automobiles, you name it. It's all in here. And this way, you can choose to use this if you like to define your exact targeting, and you can do as many as you like. You're not limited to just picking one or two. You can do quite a few, and depending on which ones you select, will again determine your potential reach. So there I selected just two, just by random, and I saw that my potential reach actually went down. So you can see how that works. This might work in more of like if you were advertising like a luxury listing, for example, because there's some more, because not everybody out there. Yeah, not everybody out there is qualified or is looking for, a luxury listing, something like that. So for example, if that was like, you might want to market that to the LA area, adjust the radius to be, probably a little bit, a little bit bigger, and then adjust the targeting to include, actors, acting, you name it, things that, luxury is one of the options there, things that might line up with that listing, and you might get a more.
Who have done one like this that has been very successful at?
So I can think of one. Becky Loa ran one last year for a listing she had in Roseman. I actually helped her with that. We had set up a custom audience back then, with just a few things that I felt were right for that area, for that listing in Roseman. And she ended up getting something like over 60 leads on that that had come through based off of.
Here's what I found.
Based off of the criteria that we put in, and the ad spend, the budget wasn't even too much. I think it was something like $30. But that's an example of one that had kind of gone out like that. So what I'll do here, I'm kind of going over time here a little bit, guys. So I'm going to do the auto audience for this. Just kind of go off here, and I'm going to click on save. The next thing is asking for the lead settings. So one of the nice things about this whole thing here is you can set up auto tagging. So the leads that actually go out, the leads that actually come in, make their way into command here, you can have them be auto tagged. What that means is you can click on your list of tags and look for leads, for example. Oh, and here I have a couple examples on my account. I can call this, a Facebook lead or advertising lead. That way, when the contacts come in automatically, they get put that tag, the tag gets added to them automatically, and I can tell that, those are leads that I put in manually or came in through another way, they came in as a lead, or a Facebook lead, Instagram lead, you can name it whatever you like.
Mike, can you put like for how many days you want to run the ad? Would it allow you to do that? Or does it go with the dollar amount?
So, so you could actually do the duration and the dollar amount, and that's actually what's next here. So I'm gonna click on save, I'm just gonna do that for my lead tagging. And the very last thing is the duration and budget.
Okay.
So here, they do recommend, a 10-day campaign with at least a budget of $1 per channel. What that means is, if I do Facebook and Instagram as my 2 channels, that they both have the equal amount of budget to work with here. And here's where I adjust the budget. So this is current, by default it's $30, but you can adjust that, up and down. And it's gonna tell you here, the budget spend per channel every day. So this will break it down to $1.50 for each of the 2, for Facebook and Instagram. And here we can choose to distribute it evenly across the 2. Or use the option to use automatic placements. And what this does is, again, uses Facebook's algorithm to determine, okay, even though I have the 2 channels selected, which one is gonna go out to Facebook more, or it'll send it out to Instagram more versus the other. You could use that option too as well for those. So I'll just distribute it evenly across. And the main purpose, or the main purpose of setting up a budget is so that when the ad is clicked, it takes from that. It actually takes from that budget. So really, the more budget that you have allocated for this, and if the ad is really successful, actually has a lot of attention going to it, the more that it has to use, the more leads that it's going to be able to capture per day. Because once it runs through the budget for that day, it won't be capturing more leads. It'll stop until it resets for the next day for the duration of the ad here for 10 days as an example.
So more money, it could capture more leads?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know?
Yeah, well, yes, you can go longer.
So like if you put it recommends $1. It says here, recommend $1 per site. Do you know approximately how many per day that could get?
So, I mean, if it's just one, for example, then it'll just use that entire $1.50 or however you have there. If it receives more than that, then it'll split it down. It'll keep going more and more. I don't know the exact math behind it, but it's just based off of, again, just the daily spend per or the budget allocation per day. So yeah, it could be just one, for example, or it could be 10 that it receives for for that day, but it'll work according to that.
Okay.
So here, this last thing I'm going to click save, and the last thing to do is actually publish a campaign. So that's located up here at the top right. And it's going to tell you your campaign is scheduled to run for 10 days with your cost. And here it's saying, it'll split it $15 for Facebook, $15 for Instagram. And then last thing is to create the campaign, and then it'll charge you then. Keep in mind that I won't actually run this, but when it does run, it won't run right away because there's going to be a verification step right before this. So we'll hit publish, and then the ad actually goes out to Facebook, and they actually do verify it. So for, you know, legal reasons, for, you know, things that, you know, not doing like false advertising or something, it does actually have to go through them for them to verify and check out before it's actually published totally.
How long does that take? For them?
So if you're actually able to do this earlier in the day, I've seen it, you know, get cleared that same day, and your ad will go out the same day. If you do this later on in the day, it might be up to the next one when it's you know, it's actually published. And we'll see that here. So let me save this here as a draft, so I can back out of the screen here.
Mike, I have a question. So when you go on Facebook and you see on the side, there are like posted ads, when you're on your own personal Facebook or you're on Home or whatever it's called, you see on the right side, there are multiple ads that they're constantly moving. Is this ad that you just taught us how to create, is this going to be there?
These actually show up in the feed, in the timeline.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
you know,
And
kind
are
of
you
just
going to
like,
be able to see it as a viewer, not as an admin? Like, can you actually go and see how does it look like as a viewer?
the only place to be able to see it as a viewer is gonna be out here.
Oh.
So in the dashboard of the ad, and you can see here, this is, the status is draft, I didn't actually publish
Got
this.
it.
But I can click on the little drop-down arrow here, and then click on, oh, well, I didn't activate the ad, so it won't let me click on it here. Let me go back over to
Yeah.
Leanna's account here. Oh, the recording for this video, just because it's kind of going on long here, thank you guys for remaining here. I'll be done shortly. I'll send it out as an email to the whole office in probably a little bit later today. Okay, so if you have the ad published and ran, you can go back in here into the dashboard, click on where the ad is, and then this is where you get to see it as, you know, as a viewer. So the your name, your account is connected, the description that you used, and if you had used more than one photo, you can do it through there, or you can do it there.
And then you said it would be on the feed on Facebook. Would you please show us where on Facebook is it going to be posted? Yeah.
So if I'm looking at my Facebook page here, as an example, it'll be just here in the general feed. And, you know, just as, you know, different things that you see here. I don't want to scroll through much down my Facebook account. I probably should have used, I probably should have used the Office account, you know, don't want to risk anything showing up there.
So if this is a public ad, like within the 50 miles radius, anyone can see it. They don't need to be your friend or connected with you. It's just a public ad, correct?
Yeah, it's a public ad. It's just, you know, where somebody's location is that matches the ad. It's where it's doing that targeting. Obviously, if the radius was so large, then it would be targeting what, hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions. That might be way too much as a reach, you know, in total, and you know.
Of course. As a real estate agent, yeah, you don't want to go that far.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in different states. Mike, is it possible for you to please have this class again? And can you please teach us the Google ads? I have no idea how to create a Google ad.
Absolutely, I'll work on that for next time, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So that's gonna be pretty much it, since we're way over time here. But I just wanna show you guys here. You guys can use the command designs tool which, I'll do a separate class on, they do have marketing materials in there already. So, this is only just an example of a listing ad, but you could do something as, an ad for a listing that's coming up soon. Maybe you're gonna target a specific neighborhood. They do have designs for those types of things. Here's a few more examples of ads, idea ads that you can create. So over on the left, something that was just listed. The one in the middle is, you can create like a home value ad. Again, you can determine what you use for the description on that, and what landing page that would be, and even something for an open house that you have coming up. Main thing with the open house, if you do something for like an open house, just keep in mind, if it's for this weekend, you're gonna wanna make sure you create this ad well in advance in the week, so that you get to create it gets verified, it has time to run on Facebook and Instagram, and catch some eyes, catch some leads, from that, up until the point of the open house, and you probably don't want to have it go past that at that point. But just a couple of things here you can do with that.
Mike, how do you get there? Because I am in my command, and I go on design, and I go to ads, but I don't see what you see.
That's, I won't go into this too much here, but if you go into the designs tool and I go to create design, it's under the social section.
Got it.
Yeah,
got
the
it.
social section, and then you go through the categories there for, just listed and so on. And that's where you can find those.
Yep, got it, thanks.
All right, you guys. That's going to be it for now. If you have any questions, I know we went through a lot today. Go ahead and let me know. I'm at here.